is Cole Wasserman. Would you like a copy of our abstract and journal?
Hello, my name is Joshua Polinsky, and today our presentation is going to be about how does cannabis oil or CBD oil and ibuprofen or Advil affect the regeneration rate of Dugesia tigrina.
CBD oil is thought to help with inflammation in humans, but very little is known about its actual effects. Ibuprofen, also as Advil or Motrin, is a very common over-the-counter anti-inflammatory drug used all over the world. Brown planaria, also known as Dugesia tigrina, is an aquatic flatworm. They live in fresh water and prefer dim light. When kept in a lab environment, they should be kept at temperatures of 20 to 22 degrees Celsius and be fed a pea-sized portion of beef liver egg yolk per 50 planaria. They can reproduce sexually or asexually. When they reproduce asexually, they tear themselves into two in a process known as fission. The two parts will then regrow into two new genetically identical planaria. They will also regenerate if intentionally cut into two more pieces.
Our hypothesis is that, according to Natalya Kogan, CBD oil enhances fracture healing, and according to R. Altman, ibuprofen also promotes fracture healing. For this reason, we believe that if giving cannabidiol oil and ibuprofen, then brown planaria will regenerate faster.
For the materials, we have 24 brown planaria, spring water, petri dishes, cannabidiol oil, chicken eggs, medium chain triglyceride oil, filter paper, disposable pipettes, flasks, plastic wrap, a small graduated cylinder, and ibuprofen tablets.
The first step in our procedure was to separate all the planaria into 4 groups with 2 petri dishes per group. The groups are the control, CBD, ibuprofen, and the both group. The second part in our procedure is to fill the petri dishes with fresh spring water and transfer 3 planaria into each petri dish. We fed them a pea-sized amount of egg yolk each week for approximately 30 minutes. Once they were done eating, we transferred them into a new petri dish with fresh spring water. The third step in our procedure was to take an Advil and wash off its outer layer. We take the insides of the Advil and put them into a flask with a couple hundred milliliters of water. The amount of milliliters of water does not matter as long as it's over about 20 milliliters because the ibuprofen has a very low solubility. Then we heat it to 25 degrees Celsius. The fourth step in our procedure would be to filter out the water to remove all the undissolved solids. 1 milliliter of the filtered water has enough ibuprofen for around 6 whole planaria. One planaria dose is equivalent to about 1,200 milliliters total in a human over the course of 3 days.
Next, we took 17.3 milliliters of dilute CBD oil that was bought from the store. 1 milliliter of this liquid has 10 milligrams of CBD oil dissolved into it. Then, we further diluted this with 5 milliliters of MCT oil. 0.25 milliliters of this further diluted mixture has around enough CBD oil for around 12 whole planaria. 1 planaria dose is equivalent to a 600 milligram dose in humans. Then, we cut the planaria in half horizontally on ice with a razor blade. After that, we extracted 0.25 milliliters of raw egg yolk from a chicken egg. We then mixed in 0.25 milliliters of the dilute CBD oil with the 0.25 milliliters of the egg. We did this to form an emulsion because oil and water do not mix. And we thought that it would work because this process is similar used to the process to make mayonnaise. We then transferred this into heat-resistant plastic wrap, which we tied off and boiled for around 60 seconds. Then we fed the emulsion to the CBD group and both group, split equally among them. And 2 milliliters of the ibuprofen was given to the ibuprofen group and both groups split equally among them too. We fed the planaria twice and administered the ibuprofen twice over the course of the experiment. Lastly, we recorded which planaria survived and which planaria regenerated after 3 weeks.
The results for our experiment were that in the control group, 11 lived and 6 regenerated. In the CBD group, 10 lived and 6 regenerated. In the ibuprofen group, 9 lived and 4 regenerated. And in the both group, only 6 lived and only 4 regenerated, which showed that the ibuprofen and the CBD mixture hindered the regeneration rate of the planaria. In the both group, 50% of the worms died, which suggests that the mixing of CBD oil and ibuprofen significantly increases the mortality rate of the worms. In addition, only 33% of the worms regenerated, which may indicate that the ibuprofen in the both group negatively impacted the regeneration time of the planaria, and the CBD oil may have had no effect on the regeneration at all.
In the future, we would like to repeat this experiment, but with a larger sample size so we could get more accurate results. And we would also like to administer varying amounts of CBD oil and ibuprofen to the planaria so we could see what effect that has. Thank you for your time. Do you have any questions for us?